Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P-Fog. Thank you, right out here in my lab. And I'm in the book. I don't beat the book up. I got a little half of it back in the good stuff. So I'm going to take you through the concepts of what we got here. Essential concepts of your character that you have to master. And this is all from the Stela of Tahuti, aka the mind of God. He's gonna break down philosophically all the things you need of your character to master oneself. I'm gonna go through it, pick the good ones out. I'm gonna cherry pick the good stuff and leave the fluff alone. That's right. Right, isn't it? 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive it. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to Maya be true. All right, right thinkers, P-Funk philosophy on the essential concepts to master from the Stela of Tahuti. Meaning you got to take this all philosophically, metaphorically, allegorically, and use it for fodder to learn and educate yourself with to better what? Know thyself. Let's talk about it. It says, from the Stela of Tahuti, instructions: consume pure foods, think pure thoughts, work with pure hands, adore celestial beings, and become associated with wise ones, aka sages, saints, and prophets, and make daily offerings to God. What could you possibly offer God if God has everything and don't need nothing from you? Worship, service, praise. That's what he feeds off of. Did you know that? Okay, again, this is all philosophical concepts. I don't need you to be believing in nothing. I'm just giving you information that will be useful if you understand it and use it. Let's go. The association with sages, aka called good association, that's seen as one of the primary ways to accelerate your spiritual development, aka learning and developing your spiritual knowledge. You need to be around somebody who also knows. That's a good association. But in India, the process they call it is satsanga. Okay, disciple, student. Okay, but the association with somebody who knows is how you eradicate the first problem with us. That is ignorance. Set represents ignorance. The ego is ignorant. Why? It edged God out. It don't know no better. It don't know. So the ego should not be in control. It don't know. Haru, your higher self, is who you want to be in control of you. That's you, self-master of yourself. Let's talk about it. But the main problem is ignorance. That's it. The wickedness. This is an ancient Egyptian proverb. The wickedness of the soul is ignorance. And ignorant don't mean dumb or stupid. It just means not to know, uncouth, uneducated, unenlightened. So it really should not be in control. Okay? It says the wickedness of one's soul is ignorance. So the virtue of the soul is knowledge. That's why I choose the philosophy. Why? Because it can give you self-knowledge. Watch this. Who is that affirms most boldly? This is the ignorant person. Who is that who affirms most boldly, the loudest one in the room? Okay. Who is that that holds his or her opinion most abstinently? Meaning it's their way or no way. You met any bashful Leo? That's what their quality is. It's their way or no way. Be they male or female. A Leo is a Leo is a Leo. Understand that? So ever they who have most ignorance. The more ignorant you are, the more abstinent and more wild you and opinionated you are. So, for they also have the most pride and insolence. Again, braggadocious, egotistical. That's how your character is when you are egoistic and you running on ignorance. Ignorance, watch this. I'm not done. Wrapping it up right here. For every little thing, I'm going to give you a little breakdown of it. Got a nice little I love this because it breaks it down perfect. Give me a chance to express it and put my little stuff to it. So, ignorant, they say, is the root of all evil. I thought you said money. The root of evil got a few tentacles that sticks out, okay? And ignorance is one of them. And for the love of money makes them do evil things. So again, depending on how you're looking at it, 50, with it 6 on this hand, half a dozen on the other. Any way you want to do it. So again, ignorance is the root of all evil. I agree 100%. Pain and suffering is the results of that ignorance. The more ignorant you are, the more pain and suffering you're going to go through due to your what? Ignorance. Okay, fetter, they call them. You cause it on yourself. That's like death by installments. You hurt yourself. You do everything to yourself. Self-improvement is eradicating the ignorance of oneself and do what's positive and benefits you, aka living right. So ignorance is the root of all evil, and pain and suffering is the result of that ignorance. So therefore, to end of ignorance is the main goal of right thinking philosophy's teachings. I want you to get rid or eradicate your ignorance of yourself. So I give you information, I give you knowledge that you can manifest and practice and master for yourself. So let's go. After ignorance, let's talk about other things. Frankie Beverly, joy, what's the other side? Pain. Can't have one without the other. That's a perfect example of Maya. Joy and pain, okay? As joy is not without its ally and its yang, pain. Can't have one without the other. In order to know joy, you have to experience pain. See where we're going with that? That's a fact. Moving on. Understand that. Don't try to prove it wrong or argue it. No, learn it, understand it. Why? That's the law that is immutable and inarguable. Why? You need to learn it. You don't need to fight it or prove it wrong because it ain't. It's a fact. So, again, joy is not without its ally pain. So, neither is sorrow without its portion of what? Pleasure. Opposite. I keep telling you, that's Maya. Opposites. Okay? You can have 10 pounds of shit and 10 pounds of gold. It's still 10 pounds. That's balance. So now what it is, that's opposite. Yeah, they're two different things. But you got to understand both sides. That's what Maya represents. Making a better decision because you have knowledge. Without knowledge, you ain't going to be guaranteed. You got a 50-50 shot. Nah, take that one. You call pulling one out your butt. Being nice, okay? And you can't go through life pulling stuff out your butt. So that means it's picking and hoping you're right. Stop! Some people live that way, sorry, but stop. Leave it alone. Get out of there. All right, let me wrap this concept of pain. I got, this is here. The next one's going to be 3 causes of pain. But let's deal with pain. All high philosophical systems deal with the question of what? Suffering. You suffer because you desire. The ego is desirous. It's emotion. It controls all of your desires. That's why you suffer when you give in to your ego. But if viewed honestly, all facets of your life are seen to be full of suffering. That's the other half of pleasure. Okay, remember that? Okay. So, even those situations in which appear to be joyous, eventually is the setup that's going to lead one down that road to pain and disappointment. Everybody ain't having fun, but when the fun is over, everybody don't like that. You can't have fun all the time. It don't work that way. But again, the ego don't think in rational or logic. All right, so it leads one to pain and disappointment. But when it is not, why? When it's not possible to maintain the good times or the fun that you're having, or you're not able to repeat them. So when your wishes do so, therefore pleasurable situations, when not experienced with philosophical insight, only leads to further mental agitation, aka pain and suffering. From the Egyptian philosophy, right there in philosophy, states that the cause of pain, pay attention, and the suffering due to your desires is due to your ignorance. I didn't say it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what I know. Ignorance is one's true self, which is the ego self. Watch this. In India philosophy, they say the idea of pain is categorized into three causes, and the chains of pain is what they call it. So in reality, we are spirits, but we suffer pain because, let's talk about the three causes of that pain that we suffer. Number one, pain caused from one's own body and mind, physical and mental diseases. That's one way to pain. Some people have their body deformities and have issues. One's own actions, from one's own actions. Your consequences of your actions could sometimes be the cause of your pain. See where we're going with that one? That's the ego not giving a damn, but doing what it does. And you're going to have to suffer through what the ego had you do. If you let the ego get you in trouble, that's on you. So number two, pain. Why? That was caused pain by others. I had my heart broke one time. And some people don't understand this. And my mother-in-law, she just can't get over it. I've yet to forgive her for that. I don't give a crap. But I learned something from that heartbreak. Wow. Never had my heart broke again. I'm 68 years old now. Over 50 years ago. So I learned lessons for life. That's what I'm saying. Life lessons are life lessons. You learn them for life, not to learn it, to do it now and what the hell, I'm done. No! Self-knowledge is for life. You learn from the cradle to the grave, all right? And number three, reason that causes pain. Pain caused by acts of God. Natural human occurrences, hurricane, earthquake, so forth and so on. What's that? Venezuela just got hit with a big earthquake. That's pain caused by natural causes. See? So now let's talk about the chains of pain. This pain thing is important. Not always physical pain. Mental anguish, spiritual disappointment. That's pain too. That hurts too. Okay? Understand that. So let's talk about the chains of pain. I got 6 of them here. First one, we come into a physical body. As spirit beings, we in the human form. So we're going to have to suffer through the body what? Pains. That's another way. That's one way. The chains of pain. We physical body. Number two, we come into a body. Why? Because there is mental agitation. The soul contract they claim about. But no, the mind is agitated because it's ego-driven. If you take the ego away, humble yourself, you'll be a different person. Relieve yourself from all the pains from what? Your own doings. There are agitations. Why? Because there is desire, that come out, boy, right? I knew he was in here. Your desires is directly affected from the ego. It wants what it wants. Some people say the heart. Now, that ain't the ego. Ego ain't the heart. Ego is the mind. Thinking is all that. Okay? So, agitation because your desire caused by your attachments and your hatred, and you either want something or hate something else. Never mind at rest or at peace. Why? It's confused. It's in a state of confusion. Okay, that's why. And that's what's going to cause what? More pain. Hence, chains of pain. Number 4, there are attachments and hatred in one's where? Mind. Why? Because the ego is in control. These is philosophical concepts that I learned and mastered, so I can do that without the book. I'm showing you, I already told you this about the ego. When your ego is in control, you're going to have problems. You're going to incur pain, suffering, and all things that's what? Bad. Why? Ego don't know no better. It don't care. So to avoid those things, you put the ego in servitude mode where it serves you, not needs you. That's why. And watch this. The ego is in control of your senses and other faculties of what? Your mind. This only leads to mental agitation. An ego mind, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And an egoistic mind is an idle mind. Why? Your ego, when it's in control, is because you identify with it. And you supposed to, Carl Jung got it right, but he got y'all thinking the ego and the devil is separate. No, the ego is what's inside you, who you identify with. That's you, thinking what? You God. Hence, edge God out. It don't know no better. It's ignorant. So now, if the ego is in control of everything, God, so you like some things or you hate others. And this leads to mental agitation. Okay, why? Because if the ego is in control, you identify with it. And that's who you are. Believe it. Why? Believe it is real and has real desires for what? Objects of the world as they are really, as if they would exist. The ego don't know no better. It wants what? Things, stuff, pleasures, flesh, okay? Objects, things. That's the ego. It ain't godly, okay? So, again, the ego personality exists only because of ignorance of yourself. That's what makes the ego prominent, because it believes it's God. It ain't in search of God. It ain't trying to obey God. But once you put it in check, it'll be your best worker, your best servant. That's why the ego have to be what? Controlled. Without it being controlled, watch this. Your soul ignorantly identifies with your ego. Hello? So the soul thinks it's rolling with God. The whole time. No. The ego is human. And it's with the ego personality. And watch this. And it wants and to what? Have its desires fulfilled. And in so doing, you as the individual will suffer along with what? The consequences of your egoistic actions for self-pleasures or anything else that you may do that you got to pay the price for. Karma will get you. So, in order for you to what? Remove the pain of suffering from your life. Again, how do you remove pain and suffering? Listen, from your life. It is a necessary break the chain of pain, which has ignorance as its root. Enlightenment, self-knowledge, right thinking, philosophy, practice it, and that's how you take care of all those negative aspects of your character, mainly how to stop what? Pain. From pain, let's talk about suffering. We suffer because we desire, and the ego is in control. Once you take the desires out the forefront of what you do, become spiritual, less more material, now your ego has to take a back seat, so to speak. So you're cutting down all your pain, and you're going to deal with suffering. Suffering is what? Suffering, when you're in search of the truth, it gives true meaning to the truth. They say truth will set you free, but sometimes the truth hurts. When you're a liar, the truth is going to hurt you. Okay? Understand that. That's where that comes from. You don't understand. So, to suffer is a necessary entailed upon your nature. Would you prefer that all miracles should protect you from his life lessons of what? Or shall you repine because it happened unto you when it happened unto all of us? You're no different. We all think our situation is the only one. No, no, no. We're uniquely individual, but we all are the same spirit. We are the same. So your individual interaction with everything, that's your right. And once we respect and understand everybody has that right, it's called free will. We won't be fighting and arguing about who's better, who's this, who's that. My God better, your God. You got the wrong religion. You know that, blah, blah, blah. It's 9 billion people on earth. There's 9 billion ways to get to God. Nobody got a lock on no way. I got a right thing philosophy way. That means, of course, you ain't going right thinking you want to get to God. My pastor got there. He ain't a bit more right thinking than the man in the moon. I got there. I ain't a bit more Bible thumper than the man in the moon. So there's different ways, different strokes for different folks. That's the point. And suffering is the golden cross upon which all of us who rise of the soul have to unfold, meaning life's experience. You're going to have to go through this experience to get to what? Eternity. This is the gate between mortality and immortality. If you like it here, you can keep coming back. You can keep playing this game over and over again. They don't care. It don't care. But if you want to get off the hamster wheel, you want to break the matrix, you want to get out, wake up, become conscious of yourself, know yourself, and stop the cycle of rebirth and reincarnation by going back to whence you came. That's a philosophical concept that every religion practice, every philosophy teaches. No different. They all may say different ways, but it's all to get you to God. I don't give a damn how you get there. When I got there, my pastor was there. I didn't ask him, yo, man, how you get here? I already know he's the Bible man. He didn't ask me because, I'm not a Bible man. So whatever I used to get me there, it must be all right. Why? It got me there. Hope you understand that concept. Let's go. Now, when we talk about suffering, we got to do that. After suffering, that has a way to what? Leads you to what? Understand humility. Ixnay on the humility state. Why? Selfish people don't have humility. On humility, humility is the greater virtue and righteous. Neither one of us did that. So we would not have no humility. Okay? It's more how about this? Humility is a greater virtue and righteous than defying death. Why? It triumphs over vanity. Look, I'm gonna think everything together. That's vanity. Look at, see that guy right there? He should have had gray hairs every damn well. Okay, we're the same age. Well, I'm older than now, but all this is white. I never forget. I work at UPS. I leave out in the morning. See him in the morning. We kicking over breakfast, going out. Okay, I'm about to go to work. So we bachelor living together. All this when I left out was great, which is normal. Okay, I got a little goatee, my stuff black. Okay, you see me? Okay, that's black. 40 years, it ain't gonna be black. This is what it is now. He was so vain that he was coloring his stuff. I don't do that. Moving on. So I've been done with the vanity. When I think vanity, I think of my dad. He was vain. He changed clothes 3 times a day. He was vain. All right, but again, it triumphs over vanity and conceit. That was me. But because it was all about me, and due to my ignorance, I didn't see me in a positive manner. It's just all about me. I don't give a damn. Scoring the fun, loyal to none. I'm doing me. I'm getting mine. Ignorant mentality. Again, fessing up, owning to it. But now, when you conquer these aspects of your character, in which I have done, conquering them in yourself first. Start with me. Mike, man in the mirror. That's my poster right there. I was giving that poster. I love that poster because it says a whole lot in just a picture. You're standing on books. You're getting knowledge. And he's seeing himself in the mirror, imaging himself as a pharaoh, as a king, royalty, not some white Superman with an S on his chest like they showed you in the magazine. That what made me hear that. When I got that poster, I was so glad. Why? I'm tired of seeing little black kids looking in the mirror, and the mirror reflection is a white man. That's like y'all take accepting a white God. I'm not doing that. Moving on. So it's a little quick lesson. Let's talk about now humility. Humility when conquered in you first. Why? When you cultivate humility, life will humble you. When Malcolm X, before he can become to him, he had to suffer through what? Humility. Life had to beat him down. He wasn't going to let a man do it. Life had to do it. And when he found humility, by what? The way of controlling his ego self. That I ain't doing that. No, when he submitted his will to Allah, as y'all say, again, y'all call it what you want. I get it. I understand it. But he conquered his ego when he learned to bow, when he learned to give first. Then he started receiving. Okay? And the bar cannot dwell, spirit cannot dwell in a mind that's full of itself. That means if the ego's in control, the bar got no work. Why? Ego's running the show. Your job is to get the ego out the way so that bar can do what it does for you. That's humility. All right? Next one is, okay, I'm going to get you, I got one more. Let's start with this. Lord, one of my favorites, karma. Karma is what we call the cause of law, cause and effect. Meaning what you do will come back to you. If what you do is good, what comes back to you will have to be good. If what you do is sneaky, deceitful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, all those negative connotations, guess what? They come back to you too. That's what you got to understand. So now the question is, how you want to do this? You want to do the right thing? You want to do your thing? God gives you a choice. Again, with each choice you make comes consequences. That's karma. Ding, 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 ding. Action. Results. Let's talk about it right quick. Everything, we call it in Egypt, we call it the IRI, A-R-I, call it IRI. Everything we do is they call sowing, meaning you're doing action, your IRI. Every action we do and all of our experiences are what we call the harvest, the reaping of what you sowed. What you put out, you come back. Get it? Okay, planting and then you harvest. If what you planted wasn't good, if you didn't cultivate and do it the timely fashion, you won't yield nothing. That's the ego. Nothing from nothing will leave nothing. Okay? But cause and effect. Again, if you start with nothing, you're going to end with nothing. You don't put nothing in, you can't get nothing out. You can't go to the bank and withdraw money if you ain't putting nothing in there. That's like God. And every action, every cause has this effect. Meaning every action got an equal and opposite reaction. Scientifically, metaphorically, karma works that way. Every effect has a cause. Every cause has an effect. Yin and yang, see where that goes? This means that. Two opposites, okay? I ain't got to keep saying yin and yang, left, no. It should be understood now. Everything has a dual, opposite, okay? Right? Got to have wrong. Up, got to have down. You got it? Male got to have female. See how I go? Nature. Working on. Let's go. Let me wrap it up. I see the, oh Lord. Well, I can't get under that half hour. Sorry, but okay. Get ready for a half hour. Sorry about that. Let me get out the way. Let me wrap it up for you right now. And we're dealing with karma. What you reap, your experiences, is the harvest. What you put out, what you think, and what you do, if it's going to reap you, yield you good results, you did good harvest. Okay, the harvest is good. It's plenty, abundance. You put bad seed out, you put bad stuff, it won't grow. Moving on. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. I just said that. Everything happens according to this law. Not man's. This law. And chance is the name for what they call a law that's unrecognized. Luck, chance, that's all stuff that they label because they don't know. So there are many planes of what we call causations, but nothing escapes this law of karma. You hear that? So no matter how much we feel or how much we don't like what that guy is doing in the White House, self-serving, getting rich. Yeah. But he's going to get away with all of that. Until what? Karma get him. That's who's going to get him. We can't touch him, obviously, because every time they got him, we got this, we got him on that, yeah. But anybody did nothing yet. Karma don't go through all that. Okay? Oh, think not. Oh, white man with all the money and the riches. Because you're in control, you want to have total immunity to get away with breaking the law and all that nonsense. Oh no. Why? No, oh ignorant man. Because your punishment, is delayed. Yeah. Why? Letting it, you remember up them hand himself, and he's been running 80 years now. He's been at this. And that arm of God is weakened. You think his pam ain't still strong? Think again. Okay. Neither flatter yourself with all your egoistic plans and plots with hopes that what? The supreme winketh at thy, you know damn well he ain't going to heaven. He even said, well, I know, it ain't the cost me to go to heaven. Why not? Because you know you did devilish stuff when you going where you deserve. Hell, moving on. Just putting it out there. Metaphorically, philosophically. Just education. No, don't want to get in trouble. So, its eyes pierce the secrets of what? Every heart. That's why at Judgment Day, you judge by the contents of your heart, not the religion you practice, not the race of your color or your sex. Contents of the heart. Spirit don't need a body. Okay. Heart, again, remembers all therefore is forever. That's why it's the birthplace of truth, but it's the store of all your intentions, be they good or bad. In that judgment day, you will be weighed by the contents of your heart. By who? You. Nobody else. You do everything. Did you know that? All right. I'm going to stop the lesson here because I see it half hour went out. But I'll be right back with some more. We about to get good now. But these are life lessons that you can manifest and master after understanding and learning. You can put it to use and you see how it works. Your truth is only because you manifest it for yourself. Now that's the truth for you. You ain't got to prove your truth to nobody but yourself. Hope you got the lesson. I'll be right back with some more for you. I'm teaching now and I'm on my job. I'll be right back. But in closing, right thinkers, man, you all live to be 100. Be 100 minus a day, so I never know my right thinkers who now starting to understand the essential concepts they need to master for themselves have passed away. And Tahuti is the mind of God. So he's speaking from God's perspective, so to speak. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be right back.